Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're talking about World of Mechs.
World of Mechs.
A VR mech game. And I mean, let's be real. When you think of the potential of VR, who doesn't want to sit first person in a giant ass mech?
Oh, I was excited. The little kid in me came screaming out because, when I grew up, you only had there was really only one mech type situation going on for cartoons and or little action figures in the 70s. So to actually know that I was going to be in a mech, come on, man.
That's as good as it gets. I mean, this isn't Gundam by any means, but I mean, that was kind of mechy, right?
Yeah, that was after, I think that was I was probably a little older at that point.
So even people like more, my age, we had our version of mechs too. I mean, just that concept of sitting in a giant ass robot, like I said.
We had G-Force. That was big in the 70s. G-Force. Yeah, and everyone would come to school and pick a different character. And you could all come together and make this big fighting mech. That thing was the shit.
Yeah. No, mechs are it's a cool concept, and I think it works great in VR. And World of Mechs is a great example of it. So let's get right into it. I mean,
I'm gonna cut you off real quick, only because I just want to get it out of the way. But there's a time-sensitive issue that I think needs to be taken care of. This is the last week for it.
Yeah, this is going to be us nominated for the yearly podcast awards.
People's Choice.
People's Choice, man. This is like the big stuff. I'm talking Wikipedia page.
Right.
You got a Wikipedia page? I don't have a Wikipedia page.
No, it seems to legitimize. You always say it too. You're like, hey, that person had a Wikipedia page. They're legit to me.
Let's say, in terms of podcast awards, anybody can make an award show. We had an award show last week for VR games, and it was legit. It was legit. It was our thing, but it ain't got a Wikipedia page.
No. I mean, 5 years from now, I'm sure it will.
Yeah. So,
but
this is an established, award show.
This is your chance to actually nominate our podcast for two different categories.
Yep, we're up for voting on the Adam Curry's People Choice Award, category, and then also on the Best Leisure Podcast.
Yep.
So if you go to www.podcastawards.com or just visit the link in the show notes, you can go sign up. It'll ask your most influential podcaster.
You don't even have to answer that.
You don't have to, or there's no drop down menu there. You type it. So, you can type in Ruff Talk VR, or if you have, another...
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want there. Then on the next screen is where you'll actually vote on each category.
And what's cool is, too, I think some people discover that there's categories that, and since they're voting for ours anyways, if you look at the other categories, there's a lot of podcasts in there that people listen to.
Oh, yeah.
That are up for nomination. So it really is a good opportunity of how you can support a podcast.
And by no means at all do you need to vote for every category. You can even just go in there and just vote for us and stop, or you can go through and just vote the ones that you want.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of good ones. But anyways, all right, so go back to business.
I believe this ends at the end of July is when the listener
voting. That's the only reason I cut you off.
Yeah, after that, if we get enough votes and such, then we move on to the final slate.
You'll be hearing this again.
Well, I don't think that it's up for listener votes from there. I think then it's their judges and stuff like that. So this is the chance for...
You can sign up to be a selected person, too. That they can contact and ask you why you voted that way and such. So that's kind of cool, too.
Yeah. So
it's one of those your vote actually counts,
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the stage for, listeners to make a difference, see how many we can get. And then they'll take all that into consideration when they have their judges and their own criteria. In the final slate, hopefully we make it that far.
Sweet. So all right, back to business. Man, so the ratings.
So this is, like I said, World of Mechs made by developer Studio 369 Inc. It's also published by them. The game just came out June 2nd, 2022. So, coming on the second month it's been out. It's $19.99 on the official Oculus Quest store with a 4.4 overall rating, 128 total ratings and 91 written reviews.
Which is good all around for it just coming. I mean, when they launched, there was some obvious issues that they commented on, and they're working hard to make better, I guess,
I call it quality of life things. And I mean, this is one of the games, I've been saying it since the first time we played it. I wouldn't be surprised to fire up my Oculus on any given day, see update available on this, and then fire it up, and it's like a completely different menu and an interface and just all these quality of life fixes. It has that perfect shell. It just needs a little bit more detailing.
Yeah, they've done a great job, their foundation, but and we'll get into it at some point, but I find the joining multiplayer games to be not my because we like to play together, and we'll actually explain how you can do it, because I do see a lot of people saying, hey, you advertise join games with 3 of your friends, but yet they
It's
can't
not
seem
that
to,
easy.
it's not that easy. It's like at the end of the day, when you realize how to do it, it's actually not that hard. But there should be a different method of.
Yeah, so I mean, since we're talking about it, let's go right into it. So I mean, you fire up into the game, right away the graphics that they show when it loads the World of Mechs logo. I know this sounds silly, but it's a really high def
It's tight.
picture, and sometimes you go like games will load up and the intro developer logo is pixelated and blurry. And I feel like even if the graphics are good after that, it kind of like sets your brain off to like a low, like, oh man,
expectation.
shit. Yeah. So this fires up and right away you see a crisp, clear World of Mechs logo. Then you see the Meta logo come up, which is interesting because they're not listed on the publisher or the developer at all. I don't know how much actual involvement, the Oculus studios and such had with this game, but
They let it on the store.
they let it on the store and the logo pops up. So, that'd be interesting.
If they let me on the store, I promise I will put their logo anywhere they want.
if we can interview these guys, I'll definitely ask about that. But then you load in and it's like, you're on the menu. There's a single player mode where there's bots. You can do like bot matches.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a campaign, which I highly recommend, and we'll get more into that. But then there's the multiplayer, and it's like and then also on the side, you have your settings stuff, but there's an invite button where you can click it, and it looks like you can invite friends. Click it, your friends list pops up, and there's like an invite button and such, but it does
come play the game with me.
Absolutely nothing. We have both tried to invite each other through that method. We've tried to be in a party chat together. That way of multiplayering together, that button shouldn't even exist. It does absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
No. So
at the moment.
I mean, at the moment,
but we're talking at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, with our
tomorrow.
luck, you ready? On Tuesday, a massive
3 days from now.
Yeah. massive update's gonna come out.
Then okay,
something like
okay.
that. If that happens, we'll stand corrected.
I will have 2 reflected scores by the end of this. Then I will alter my initial one in such a manner that if XYZ is taken care of.
No, I don't know if we need to do that.
Then I'll give you the option to.
But because realistically, nothing's probably gonna happen. I'm being silly.
It has happened.
But the way that we figured out as of now that you do the multiplayer is one person has to join the game, like join a multiplayer match. You literally just hit quick match. There's no like find servers. There's no create a server, which is part of the quality of life issues. I'd say it's literally to join multiplayer. It's quick match. And then it loads you into a pre-existing game. Better hope there's room for both of you. I mean, there's times we have to sit in one and wait.
They're not big servers with like 16 on 16.
Nope, it's 4 on 4.
4 on 4.
It's
so
pretty
if
easy.
you got 3 friends and you're all trying to be on the same team, which is Alpha or Bravo, you're screwed.
Yeah, you might go into a full lot because even us, it's taken a couple.
It's a struggle, and there's 2 of us, so I can't imagine if we were all 3.
I think just being able to create a pre-team or create a pre-serve or like join a server of your choice would help a lot. But nonetheless,
there's obviously no shortage of people that want to play. So why wouldn't you have a create a server?
Yeah. So, but nonetheless, so once somebody is in the actual game, so the first person joins a match with quick match, then the second person needs to wait for them to pop up on like a list of friends on the main screen. It'll show like friends actually playing the game. And then you hit join, and it'll like join into the game that they're in. Or
you hit join because it tells you can, but the server's full, so it just kicks you right out. So they didn't, another quality of life would be is if the server's full, you would know that without having to join.
Yeah.
So what I'll end up doing sometimes is you'll just hold there for a couple of minutes, and I'll just keep clicking join, and it never really works out. You quit out, and you find. And what's weird is they're rotating maps that you have like no control over. Like there's one we'll talk about called VIP that you just pray doesn't show up. So it's they need some control issues for the a multiplayer experience.
Making a server, yeah. But here's the thing. So because exactly what you said, sometimes it's a hassle with one person will join the game, and then the room's full, so then they leave, but you're still trying to join, and now we're just kind of like playing patty cake. So to make this easy, we go into party chat until we're both actually in the game so we can communicate like, okay, I'm in a server, it's full, don't join yet, I'm leaving,
Yeah.
But you go into a game, not campaign, you go into a multiplayer game in party chat in this game, man, you're pretty much nuking your audio.
I almost
rage
stopped
quit.
playing it because I was like, I didn't lose like audio sound of hearing you in party chat. I lost all sound completely. Not bullet, missile, mech sound, nothing.
It would happen to me too, or sometimes I would be lucky and I would be able to get game audio back after a little bit. It would cut out for a little bit.
It would be like skippy.
Yep. And sometimes, the few times I did have it, I couldn't hear anybody though. So it was like, and the only way this glitch would happen would be as if we joined in party chat. Even if we had party chat on and we had like the tab switch to talking in app chat, because you can do that. You're in a party.
No, we had to physically quit.
Yeah,
quit party chat.
If don't join a multiplayer match in this game in party chat. It's not worth it. So now what we do is we coordinate in party chat until we're both in the same server, and then we just quit party chat before the game starts.
Yeah.
If that game loads in party chat, we're on like a time crunch to do that. We're like, wait,
and you know what's really weird about that is when we were playing multiplayer before, never had that problem.
No, it's one of the more recent updates.
So,
but it's nuked the audio.
But they are, in defense of them, I will say that it's not like they're ignoring problems either. So they're very proactive.
No, this is actually a great example of, a game that it's probably the longer that you or we or anybody waits to review it,
the better
it's going to be.
Yeah. Oh no, I was going to mention that this is the perfect example of that, because you already know of things that are coming.
It's already had good updates. It's already had updates. I mean, granted, the audio update, the audio issue
so again,
came with one of the updates.
Your score and my score reflect the current baseline of where it's at, but it has to be reviewed again in like 6 months to a year.
Without a doubt. And I mean, they have a Discord community. They're listening to feedback. You said that. They're making quick updates, so it's not like a dead in the water game. It dropped buggy.
No, and I'm definitely not gonna crap all over the game either, because I always wanted to be inside a mech, and
let's be real,
they delivered.
When we're doing multiplayer and we're on the same team together and we're running together in mechs,
it's awesome,
dude. It's not awesome, it's badass.
And they give you a variety of, and the reason why we say we recommend do the campaign first,
we should probably get into that now then, huh?
Learning the controls, because they set it up brilliantly. They really guide you through every single map of how it's played and what
every
the purpose.
Game mode.
Yeah, you feel like you're graduating a mech pilot school kind of thing.
It's a 20 level campaign.
Yeah, and you can generate a lot of money, and then you can buy
too.
A bunch of different mechs, because there's a medic mech, a scout, a vanguard.
Yeah, it's just so in case anybody's never played, it's like there's 8 different classes of mechs.
Yeah.
And then in each class, there's 4 different mechs. You have 32 different mechs to choose from. And then there's, in each mech, you have upgrades. So you can upgrade the weapons with different options too. There's like an option to increase your fire rate, an option to increase your reload time, and then some of them have an option to increase the ammo capacity. But then you can upgrade.
They have ammo speed. Like for the missiles, you can increase the speed by like 10,000 each upgrade.
Yeah, that's a thing too. Every different class is a different size, different stats,
which you will
different
feel.
Weapons. Oh yeah,
you will feel if you get into their biggest mech. It feels huge.
Yep. So one mech might have missiles and a shotgun. Another one might have a machine gun and a laser. Another one might have a medium
barrage missiles in one hand and a freaking high impulse weapon in the left hand.
And then so you can equip one different upgrade for each different weapon, and then you can equip one different upgrade for stats. So you can increase your speed, your health, your shield. Yep. And you have health and you have shield. So, and you can overheat, and overheat's pretty obvious in the mech. You're just shooting too much without giving yourself proper reload time, and you're just going like a madman. You're thinking overheat. But you have shield, which, it'll go down, but if you don't take damage for a while, it'll go back up. And then you have your actual health, which
does not go back up.
No, you can find like items throughout the map.
Yeah, they got a bunch of XP items, shield items.
And yeah, so we mentioned XP and money. It's like money and XP are pretty kind of interchangeable. It's like you earn money and you earn XP, but some mechs cost money, some mechs cost XP, some mechs cost both. Same for upgrades. So you really need both. They're pretty interchangeable.
Yeah.
It's just some upgrades require one or the other or both. But exactly what you said. So 20 different missions in the campaign. They show you every game mode. They show you every map multiple times.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have a ballin' amount of
money.
and XP. So you like at this point in multiplayer, like, I mean, in campaign, I was saving up for the next mech. I was like, all right, I want to try this one. I almost got enough. Now it's like, I have too much money and stuff. I'll buy every single one, you know?
Well, and what led to this, so people know, is when we first started playing, we're going multiplayer. We're going multiplayer. And, you know, we have like 2 different mechs that you can choose from. And we got just relentlessly murked.
The default mech, which
like,
is...
man, it's going to take so much to make money to start on. Because when you do kills or that you get assists on kills, you get
like
experience.
100 XP, I think.
Yeah, 500 for a kill, I think. And so you can make a lot of money in these rounds if you're killing.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get a total amount at the end of the round.
Well, they give you some shit for showing up.
Yeah.
And just being a meat shield.
Depending on how you did, yeah.
But yeah, we just got obliterated. And we're like, wow, I've never struggled this hard. When I mean, I've been into some multiplayer first-person shooters that were, you know, like, wow, 1 bullet games. Boom, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, damn. But freaking... So we were like, there's got to be a better way to make money, because we just wanted to unlock different mechs so we could at least, you know, feel like we had a fighting chance.
And then we realized there's upgrades, and then we saw the campaign.
Yeah. Like, maybe you can make money in the campaign.
And then we're like, oh, you get a lot of money.
Figure.
So we're like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense. So you do 20 missions.
The campaign first.
Yeah, and like I said, you do every game mode and every map, you know, a couple times. So it's like, I knew which ones were my favorite. I knew how to play everyone at least.
Yeah, I came out of the campaign, and when we started doing multiplayer again, it was a different game.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I now, because
you're the Juggernaut. You use Hades a lot, right? That's your guy.
Yeah. Not only do they give you, like, you know, maybe a big shotgun on your left arm, and we'll say, you know, missiles on your right arm.
With Hades,
you have a special ability as well. Some of them are you can stomp. A lot of the little guys, you can pick certain ones. They turn invisible.
Yours builds a wall,
a big shield wall.
Mine shoots a stun.
Yeah, a stun bolt. It'll even go around corners.
And dude, when it hits them, not only does it stun them, it does so much damage. And then it's easy to miss.
Yeah, so each one has its own special. Each class has its own special abilities that go with it. So it's pretty unique.
And what's cool is, like we mentioned, there's 8 different
pretty
classes.
Cool.
Yeah, 4 different mechs in each class. It's like so each class has the same special ability for you know, all the 4 different mechs, but the weapons and the stats of each mech is different, even in the same class. So it's like, for the Juggernaut, the class you use, which is like the biggest, most like tank one, it can take the most damage.
Yeah, you can see them over buildings and shit.
I use the Brawler. I use the one that's like on the list of them. It's the one right above. I actually specifically use the second one on it, Cyclone. That's my G
guy.
That's my guy. You know, I like him a lot. I like rapid fire weapons. I don't like the missiles. You like the missiles.
I like one hand with missiles.
Yeah, it's a good specification.
And they're maxed out with speed, so when they lock on, I'm good.
I didn't like that I had to have something to lock on for, especially in the campaign where there's sometimes you have to like shoot something in the distance, I'll say.
Yeah.
And it's like, so with my guy, even if there's I can just shoot whenever. I just have to aim. And man, they give you, kind of on the aiming, they give you a lot of accessibility options. It's like by default when you're playing the
head aiming.
Well, yeah, it aims with your head, which I thought I would actually like the other option more of aiming with your controller.
No.
But I tried to aim with my controller and I sucked. I couldn't play. So
no,
you aim
head
with
aiming is the best, because where you look is where they give you the target, like the little scope layout, little circle with a dot in it.
And they do the immersion of it really well. So they have the Oculus controllers are in the game visually. Those are the handles of the mech
that are attached to
so you're sitting in the pilot seat, you see the Oculus controllers there as like your but it works in the game. You're in the cockpit, you feel like you're first person in a mech.
I go out of my way to make sure. I'll never play this game standing up.
Yeah, you gotta play it sitting.
It is so much fun, because if you look down, you'll see your guy's legs in the mech.
Kind of stretched out a little, you know.
And they're stretched out in front, and they're obviously on pedals. So I sit in my computer chair, and then I stretch out my legs.
Yeah, it's very immersive in that regard.
Fuck yeah.
And then when the game, by default, there's like a cockpit shake. Every time you walk, the cockpit kind of like goes up and down.
I like that.
I actually turned it off very early on. Personally, I play without it. So if you do play and you don't like it,
it's awesome when you can run too. Like you do your sprint.
But by default, it's on, and they have some other accessibility options to either, you know.
They give you good comfort control.
Yeah,
if it's too mechy,
you can lessen it or greaten it to a pretty good extent.
I do enjoy the default.
Yeah, I like it. I like everything default except the cockpit shake. But that's just me personally.
To me, it just added to that whole, like, if he's stepping with his right foot, I know it. You know, this would be great with haptic feedback.
Whoa, oh yeah. The game's...
Especially with taking bullets or taking shots from missiles.
There's so much potential with it. And I'll be honest with you, the campaign wasn't terrible. Like, it wasn't a bad story.
I am happy I did the campaign.
Yes.
After playing multiplayer first, the campaign was like, oh, thank you.
There's only one style of mission in campaign that doesn't exist in multiplayer that I don't like, and that's the boss fights. Yeah. And I figured out something with them very early. I mean, not very early, very late. I figured out on the last boss fight on level 20. I mean, I don't think it's spoilers to give. This is more of like a general tip, I'd say.
How to beat the game?
Not how to beat the game, but
the mission.
Because, dude, like, there was one that actually frustrated you, and had you have known
I'm not
this,
telling anybody how to do it.
I won't. Yeah, you know, I'll just say
my struggle was real. You think I'm gonna make it easier for someone else? No.
Well, I would feel
that was a really hard freaking level.
I would feel really bad if somebody couldn't continue because the visual of how it looks.
Go on Google. Someone else would ruin it for him. I won't lie. I consulted with you. I'm like, I know, but you didn't help me. Come to find out, you know.
Well, no, I did help you.
Yeah.
I just didn't know yet the better way to do it.
Yeah.
There, and like the boss fights, there's like, you have to kill the boss, obviously, but if only it was that simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's like these giant walls everywhere, bubble walls. And you have to destroy 3 different like explosive pillar things, and they're in the bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
So like usually on pretty much every boss mission, 2 of them you can, boom, right away you got them. Maybe like the first 30 seconds, and then there's one that's so far in the, you're like, how? And there's specifically one, I think it was mission 12, maybe, that I remembered it giving me a big fight. And so then I was missions ahead of you, so I heard you being, it was like almost an hour, and you were still on the same one. And I was like, I have a feeling I know which one this is. So I actually went back and did the mission again. And like, I found in that one a crazy Mickey Mouse way to like go around it. But if you're in those missions and you want to do the around way like we were doing to make it more challenging, go ahead. But what I found out in level 20, if you look on the ground, there's satellites. And they probably taught you this at some point, and I probably didn't listen, to tell you the truth.
I don't think so.
I'm not confident enough that they didn't tell me, but I don't think they did, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did as well. Because we were party chatting half the time during the dialogue. For me personally, I was reading it still, but like if they gave me an important instruction, and
I probably didn't hear it.
On mission 2, it's possible I missed it, mission 3. But yeah, there's these little satellite things, and if you destroy them, the bubble goes away.
Yeah.
I found that out on level 20, and I was so like, are you freaking serious? Oh.
Well, it's because you focus on the 3 power cores.
You only got like, what, 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah, you got like 5 minutes. And it's not like it's just the 3 power cores that you got to destroy and kill the boss. It's the 3 power cores, the boss, and his friends. Because he always comes with 2 or 3 buddies.
And the only reason that I give that tip, you know us, usually we're not the, I don't consider that much a spoiler, but we're like overly careful about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would say not knowing that could have made, like, I did not look forward to those missions. They were the only part of the game I actually disliked.
Yeah, but you made it. You figured that out on the last mission.
Yeah.
So it's not like you had to look forward. You were done.
The only reason I give it is because I could actually see that stopping somebody from progressing the campaign.
When I did most of those missions, I never blew up the bubbles. Only once.
The only one I did was on the last one when I found out.
And that was one of the early ones.
But damn, level 12 caught me up for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't know that. Because, dude, it doesn't look like, even the way we did it. I'm not going to say, if you want to try to do level 12 without blowing up the satellites, I'll say that you can look like a ninja in that one. And you can do something absolutely crazy to get to it.
It'll work.
It'll work. It was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, fighting inside the bubble.
It doesn't make sense that it works, but it's awesome. But do the whole campaign, get rolling. Like, dude, I'm talking like rolling in money and XP.
But you will.
Try out all these different mechs during the campaign. Find your favorite one. I mean, I think we both tried like 5 or 6 during the campaign.
I have so many mechs unlocked since we've been doing multiplayer. It's not even funny.
And
because you learn real quick that even though I might have the biggest mech, I get murked by these little guys that come sprinting in,
invisible,
and just light me up.
Not even always when they're invisible. It's those mid-sized
No,
ones
they can sprint.
Yeah, and they're powerful.
They remind me of the Star Wars
AT-ATs.
Not the little two-legged
the walker ones.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ones.
Yeah,
they have that vibe to them. All of the little guys.
And they come in, like you said, fast, and they come in strong. There's even one that's described in the description as like the king of close range combat.
To getting right in your face.
And you feel it. It's like,
and if you're a big mech and you got a small mech at your feet,
you can't see them.
You can't hit them because you're
fucking too big.
Be like being wicked huge. You can't see your feet.
I feel like somebody's wrapping me up in a tether ball sometimes when they're like circling me. I'm getting shot by like, dude.
That's when I learned. I'm like, this game is genius. With you can get the big mech, but it's like
it's balanced beautifully.
If you're up against 4 dudes all in little mechs, you're done. They're just gonna bum rush your feet and
yeah, dude. If I'm the biggest, most powerful mech and I'm dying by a little guy, the game's balanced well.
Yeah, that's also encouraged me to go get the little mechs now.
Yeah.
So
and
I've got the nice variety board of my mech options, and you can switch into whatever mech you want in between rounds.
Yeah, so it's in between deaths and stuff.
Yeah,
it's not like halfway through running around.
Oh yeah, no, you die, which happens relatively quickly
depending on your play level. Yeah,
it's like you just go, okay, I'm gonna grab this guy. I'm gonna grab this guy. I even do upgrades sometimes in the 10-second countdown.
Yeah, that's what I did. I tried out Hades last night, and that's exactly what I did. I was like, all right, I'm Hades now.
I bought yours the other night. Yeah, so I'm like, I gotta see what he's about.
But just like Wands, it's like we've been in Wands Alliance, we've been changing characters a lot recently. We've been trying all the different classes, and after 1 or 2 rounds, we go back to our OG one. Kind of happens in this one too. It's like, as much as I'll try different mechs and I can see the strength of them, it's like I'm just so comfortable with Cyclone at this point.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with that.
I'll hear you go back to Hades too.
Yeah, but it depends on, like, I'll do a round as Hades, and then depending on how that plays out, I might go, okay, this isn't going to work for me as Hades, so I'll go down. I think I grab a brawler. I think I got 2 brawlers now. So I grab one of those, go, okay, that was actually better. So I'm seeing that, okay, now I need the small ones to...
Well, I think we might have mentioned this already, but if not, I apologize. I mean, we said that, there's, 5 different maps and 4 different game modes.
Yep.
And those game modes are, Team Deathmatch, pretty straightforward. That's like the one, total amount of kills.
4 versus 4.
In that mode, I feel like when you're Juggernaut and I'm Brawler, that's our biggest strength.
But yeah, especially if we got 2 teammates with us that are...
mid-sized.
Yeah, and you can, like, last night, dude.
We all stick together. It was competitive. Yeah, with us being those classes, I think that benefits us the most. But that's Team Deathmatch. Then there's Domination, which I actually like Domination a lot. There's A, B, and C bases, so Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. And I like, the online community for this game is solid because nobody says I'm going to B. Everybody says I'm going to Bravo. I'm going to Charlie. I'm going the community's there.
They know the alphabet.
Well, it's fun. It's more fun. It's
more authentic.
It's a good community. The community seems pretty mature too. We've played with a couple kids, but for the most part, it's like sounds like dudes in their 30s and 40s.
You're in a $1 billion mech. You can't call it A. Yeah, I'm going A.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's cool.
$1 billion worth of metal and technology at your fingertips.
Because I usually like to do that extra immersion stuff as arguing with the ref in first-person tennis. It's like I like to do that stuff. So to see the other random people online, that's who plays this game too. That was pretty exciting. But so there's 3 different, I guess, base areas to capture. It's pretty much like a capture the flag without returning the flag back.
Yeah,
I guess you
base
could say.
Holding.
Yeah, you just base hold, and then you get points for the longer the base is held. So
meaning multiple bases.
Yeah.
So there's 3. Let's say you got 3 bases. You hold 1, and the opponent's got 2. Obviously,
they're getting points more.
They're getting points generated faster.
So it's a never-ending a whack-a-mole game of them. Even if you're the one with 2 bases, it's really hard to hold all 3. Because it's one thing to get the base for a couple seconds, but to hold it is different.
I love the strategy of
everybody run together.
Everybody stay together because it's such an underused strategy in those type of game setups.
It was actually
you can just lay down a path of destruction.
It was getting hard to convince people of that last night when we were like, let's.
But it worked.
Yeah, when people would, but a lot of times people would be like, all right,
Well, no, because people naturally, hey, there's 3 bases, A, B, C.
So you guys
everybody take one, and we'll have one extra guy to float to whichever one. You know, like one guy can, 2 people can go A.
But they come in rolling at you with 4 people, and you only got 2 on 1. You guys
done.
are smoked, and then
You're done.
What'll end up happening is they'll take that base, and you think you're getting 2 bases. All right, well now at least it's 1-1. No, they're gonna take that base and then roll to the next one, army style.
And they're coming up.
And now you're fucked, dude. They got all 3. You know.
I think the strategy of staying together
On that one is good,
especially different value mechs where you can have
that one would be the ultimate 1 or 2 big mechs and two mid ones.
They have the sniper mech.
Yeah. On domination mode.
Sniper mech.
I know that one's cool.
Now you know what? You know what's really cool?
What?
And I'm glad that it's in your point of view when you're in your mech cockpit. But if you look to your left, you'll see your weapon that's attached to your mech.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, I was looking at the barrage missile one, I think for the brawler, and it's literally like, I'm like, okay, to scale, that's like 4 school buses, like hollowed out school buses put together.
Yeah, they do.
It is huge, dude.
And
Every time I get in we load in the game and that you're in the cockpit, I'll even move my arms around and they're all attached, you know, even though it really doesn't do anything. It feels freaking really good.
Yeah, no, and you just referenced it. Scale is everything in this game. They did a great job with it. The way it feels when you're a big mech and there's a mid-sized mech or a small mech.
The small mech cracks me up because it really does, especially when, like, I go running up to your guy and I'm like, oh my god, I don't even go to the waist of this mech.
I'll be like, where are you? I'm behind you.
But a good team with the brawler and the other one, and then 2 small or mid-range mechs. You've got, there's competitive possibility for this game.
Yeah, strategy goes deep in this with the amount of class and different mechs.
Fix your multiplayer.
Yeah,
because there's no I won't invite anybody else to want to play it with us, just because it might not happen.
Yeah, and it could be a frustrating experience. But I don't want to get too we were going over the different game modes. I think domination, for that one, I think those invisible ones give me the most trouble. Like I said, I think our big mechs do the best in deathmatch. Those invisible ones are a headache in domination.
2 invisible ones coming at you, you're pretty much...
They're going to kill you, and they took the
base.
base.
You can see them. It's Predator invisible.
Yeah.
I'll call it.
The next 2 game modes, I won't say I like as much as domination and deathmatch. The next one is VIP. We were joking in the beginning. Hope you don't get this one. The way it works, I mean, like, some people might love this. I'm just not a fan.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
To me, it's just deathmatch.
Yeah.
Because if you're playing as a team, it shouldn't matter who's...
You shouldn't, but I've just never had as much fun with this one. But basically the way it works is basically team deathmatch, but total kills don't matter. What happens is one person on each team gets randomly designated as the VIP. And then the kill, if you can kill the VIP, it counts as 1 point. And then it shuffles to a new random person on the team as a VIP. So whichever team kills the other VIP
gets
more
the
times,
points.
yeah, that's the winner. I think the reason why I would love this game mode with a solid team a lot, but I feel like every time I play this game mode, everybody just scatters.
Well, yes.
And it's like,
that's the thing. That's why, to me, it's every game mode that they have is going to come back
to stay together.
And having the ability to have the team to put together to stay together.
Yeah. Which if you can't do if you can't build your own...
I can't build my own team. And VIP is the greatest example because in reality, if you got 4 mechs, right?
Just all stay together.
And you know one of you is the VIP, and they know it. Everybody can see it.
Just circle around them.
Including your teammates. It's like, go hide behind a building, and we'll use you as, us as the wall. Nobody has ever played... and we keep playing it because we get forced into it as far as like when the map changes, but...
So, you know what? Thank you for specifying that because it's not the game mode itself I dislike.
Yeah,
it's the way that people are playing it. It's like I get
free-for-all.
It's like, just stop because, like, okay, it's cool when you're not the VIP. Maybe you'll get a kill against the other VIP. Woo, well, I did something. But then, like...
Yeah, if you have 4 mechs coming for the VIP and your teammates are all running around, you're just... I mean, you're basically... That's why I'm not upset about it. When I play it, though...
You just try to follow someone?
No, I play it like it's freaking just regular team deathmatch. I don't give a shit if I die or not because I have no defense. I have nobody running block around me.
Yeah, it's
so if I'm gonna stand out in the open anyways, and you can see like the enemy, they give you like the red dots. You can see in the distance when the enemy's coming. You got your radar.
And
Yeah.
they label who's the VIP too. Like you can see it above the person's head.
So
It's no secret.
You know how this is going to play out. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I got 3 mechs that just took off, and what am I supposed to do? So I'll just fight it like I normally would.
Yeah, no, if we
The
could
map will change in 5 minutes, so I really don't care.
if we could build a party or a team with 2 other people that we know and communicate with, I think that might be my favorite game mode.
That's,
But right now, that award
probably
goes to Domination.
Yeah, Domination or Team
Deathmatch.
Deathmatch is good.
But the last one is just you joke. It's a money sink.
It's a money grab. It's good.
This is where everybody
wins.
This last one, I've never seen it played competitively. It's I'm pretty sure it's called Assault. It's like there's 2 bases, so kind of similar to Domination in that regard. But in this one, it's just 1 base on each team, and there's no capture. It's just every person on your team
attack and defend.
Yeah, every person on your team who stands in your respective base circle increases the amount of points scored with, the first people to score, I think, 200 points or whatever win. Or if the time runs out, then whoever had more at that time. So what ends up happening is instead of trying to like prevent the other team from going to their base, both teams just run to their base. And then it's over in like 30 seconds.
But, so we did it in WASP, and I got almost 26,000.
Yeah, and it took 30 seconds.
So
I've
30
never
seconds. I would deliberately choose that map, and I'd play it for 8 hours, so I could have a gajillion dollars.
Maybe that's why they don't let you choose game modes.
Well, they would just have to like change the reward system for that, or not put that into a
Well, they do. So they
pickable game mode.
They show you when you load in like recent updates, like a lot of games. Like, hey, here's the, what we did, and then they also give like a coming soon. And they're adding capture the flag.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if they replaced Assault with capture the flag.
I wouldn't be mad if they added the ability to create a server instead of capture the flag. I mean, honestly,
that's the biggest. That's definitely the biggest holdback on this now.
I'm not them, so I can't tell them what to do or how to do it. But right now, as a game player,
as a consumer,
for what they've given on the table, it's like if they really want to capitalize on it and then focus on these other game modes down the road, is like get this multiplayer ability really tight and up and running good. Beg, borrow, steal from other developers. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's like every game I've ever played in VR multiplayer isn't like this difficult to play together.
I agree. There's not, even like the ones with we were just joking on Monday's interview about Pop 1, our favorite game. They have like the friend code system.
It's a little tough. Or Knuckle of.
But guess what? It works. This doesn't work at all. And it's actually kind of mind-boggling. As much as I love the campaign and everything, like that's just to introduce you to the game. The game is the multiplayer. That's the game.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling to launch the game with no functional multiplayer, like team lobby. Like, yeah, there's quick match.
Yeah.
With
quick match and then wait to see your friend in the match and then click join.
Why even have the invite button?
I think it's just futures.
Probably.
But, to me, that's where my immediate focus would go. Because the reality is like, I can totally see someone buying it and getting a little pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. There was
you're trying
this
to play
minor kind of like frustrational letdown when we were first playing before we figured out like, okay, so we can do it this way, but there's a big risk when I get in there because other people want to play too with their friends.
Yeah, I had no like discouragement when I realized, we're getting merc because I need to get better mechs and stuff. I was actually like excited for the campaign.
Yeah.
That wasn't the hold up. The hold up when it was like, I just want to play multiplayer and I can't. So, it's great game though. What I will say is that this has happened to us before. There's some games that we start it and we're like, dude, this might take us a month or 2 of playing before we're really actually ready to review it, and then it ends up taking us a week, and like we did the whole game, pretty good with it. Then there's other games that we're like pretty confident. This is the case with this one. We're like, honestly, multiplayer mech game, 1 or 2 weeks, and we'll probably be ready to review it, right? Dude, I think we chipped away at this for over a month, right? I mean, because first we started with the campaign, first couple play sessions were us messing around with the multiplayer with the default mech mid-class, like just terrible. Then we realized what was up. The next like week or 2 was just the campaign, between Pop 1, wands, and mechs and everything else we've been playing.
Some undisclosed stuff.
Yeah, to be disclosed. But nonetheless,
No,
yeah, it took us a while.
We put we put above average time into this, to be honest with you. I think we put more time into it than we needed.
Yeah,
but I think it was until we could do multiplayer and feel like we were doing
competitive.
Well. That's honestly what I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the ability to review it. It was like we want to be good at it before we can say anything about it.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's always fair to...
Or not bad at it, I should say.
Well, you need to at least complete the campaign. Mm-hmm. We at least need to try some other classes. We at least need to get a good opinion on all the game. There was a lot to do, actually, like more than I thought.
Different mechs, different special abilities.
And I was also always kind of worried that at any point it was going to update, too. So I was kind of waiting for a big update, and I was like, all right, I think things are going to...
We see a window. We'll see how it plays out. 4 days.
So, I mean... We'll go into our final thoughts and our ratings, and we'll take our sponsor break in a second. We already started begging for the podcast awards.
Yeah.
But part of that's, I just want to be clear, like, when we're talking about the quality of life headaches, it's because it's a good game. Like, we wouldn't have spent so long with it if it's a bad game. The game's fun.
I think at the end of the day, the review is what matters the most.
It's a badass game to be a mech, and it's great being with friends. I just wish it was easier to be in a mech with friends. But nonetheless, so we'll pass it over to the sponsors. They'll say their part. They help keep the show afloat, and then from there, we'll get into our final thoughts and our review. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code Ruff Talk VR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
What's up, everyone? Crotch discomfort hurting your game? Fear no more. The kings of crotch comfort, Manscaped, have spent 2 years designing the most comfortable boxer briefs out there. Sleek, soft, comfortable, and flexible, the brand new Boxers 2.0 from Manscaped take your balls to the royal ball throne. The global leaders in below-the-waist grooming have the Lawnmower 4.0 for the trimming, so you can wear those Boxer 2.0s for the chillin'. They even trademarked the jewel pouch, so you know it's serious. I think it's time you invest in your family jewels. So let your bulge breathe and get 20% off plus free shipping by using the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. Let's say you're on a date and your partner catches that Manscaped on the waistband of your underwear. It's almost guaranteed to raise some eyebrows and act like a billboard on the highway to Pleasure Town. Beyond ball cleaning, Manscaped is focused on ball comforting with the new Boxers 2.0. Boost confidence everywhere you are, knowing you're wearing the absolute best pack for your sack. These boxers are a game changer, and features include the jewel pouch, a pouch designed to cradle your boys in their own special space, lined with perforated performance fabric to keep them well ventilated. Is this heaven on earth? Nope, more like heaven on girth. The micro-modal fabric is buttery soft and breathable, keeping your cucumber cool. Walk, run, strut, these moisture-wicking boxers breathe without breaking a sweat. The tagless waistband hugs your body without digging in, and it lays flat against your skin to reduce chafing. Be proud of your underwear and wear the Manscaped waistband with a badge of honor. Your balls deserve it. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with our code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. Up your crotch game, because once the Boxers 2.0 touch your sack, you'll never go back.
So like always, too, like I said before, we already begged you about the podcast awards, but if you enjoy this episode, be sure to subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Subscribing, it's nice. You get our episodes ASAP, and then if you want to, communicate with us directly, talk with some other, listeners of the podcast, we've been doing some other, there's been some group games and stuff. There's been a lot of good banter recently. Go check out our official Discord and Reddit servers where you can, like I said, engage with us directly there. So we'll get right into it. Our review categories, this one's going to be our standard one since it's not like a puzzle game like Twilight Zone or anything. So we have our 5 normal categories of gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, replayability, and value, each broken into 1 to 20, with the final score of all 5 being the final score. So I think I went first last time. We've been talking about bouncing back and forth. You want to take it first this time?
Because sometimes the scores are identical, and it makes me
to
feel bad because I'm like, man, I put my effort in,
And now, you'll take the mic and you'll be like, well,
half the shit that comes out of your mouth will be like, well, scratch that right off my list of things to say.
There's been times you take the mic and you go,
what can I say?
Everything you said, and then you just read your score and it's done. I feel bad, So
no.
We'll let you take it.
Fair enough. So I'll get right to it. Gameplay, I give him a 15. I wish I could give him a 20 currently. I can't. It's fun as hell. It's got a lot of potential, and I see it going nowhere but forward. But as it is today or this minute, if I put the headset on, I give it overall a 15. Aesthetics, so close to a 20. I mean, like, really, if we didn't really do, like, increments of 5, it would probably be, like, a 17. But I do give him a 15. Not the tightest I've ever seen, but by far not the worst. And as far as, like, feeling like I'm in a mech, out of the park. I mean, and to me, it's like, wow, this is only the first real one. There's more coming down the pipeline. There's some other ones. So I'm excited to try how everybody's going to interpret how we should feel inside a mech. And then over time, I expect to, like, get in one and there be no question. Like, this is just freaking fantastic. But aesthetically, they did good. Functionality, I'm not going to beat them to death on some of the shit, but it kind of ties into the gameplay with a 15. There are some minor little hiccup bugs or whatever, but that's also to be expected with a brand new product. But one could argue, well, no, it shouldn't. And I think the multiplayer experience is what kind of jives on that, coupled with the inability to have a party chat, which is weird because if you have a squad of 3 and they're your friends, you're probably going to use the party chat sometimes, but whatever. Replayability, as it stands today, a 15. I like it a lot. We've actually already spoken about how can we keep this in our rotation because we want to continue playing it, and actually the team play would be great, but until we can get that third or fourth we were lucky to have 3, but we know we can pull off 3, but to even pull off like having 4 people on the same side, it's impossible. So a 15. Value for money, $19.99. That is absolutely incredible. So yeah, definitely a 20 for value for money. My overall score will be an 80, and could easily be a 90 if they had some sort of create server ability. You can actually invite your friends and it be more than just you and I really at the moment. That can go into a server together, because that can be a struggle. So an 80.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record with my review. Unfortunately.
Finally. But, see, that's what happens when I get to go first sometimes.
And just to continue what you say, it's not only like which can be a struggle. Sometimes like it shouldn't be that much of a headache for 2 veteran players who've done plenty of different multiplayer systems in a multiplayer based game to play multiplayer together. And it's pretty mind boggling the situation that with that, but I'll reflect that in just a moment. Gameplay, I was going back and forth a lot if I was going to go 15 or 20 with them, because it's a great mech game. It really probably, you'd think it should be a 20, but I have to go 15, kind of a little bit what you said. I can't really necessarily play with my friends in the way I should be. Like there's no create a server, there's no create a team. That does, that'll be reflective in functionality as well, but like that is a gameplay element as well, because it's not only a glitch going on there, it's an actual feature missing from the game.
I'll never cut you off, but if you read even in their game description, it really hypes up that, like,
it should
grab
be
3
easy.
Grab 3 of your friends, right? So that's a total of 4.
Because it's 4v4. You should be able to just have your team.
Dude.
You can't.
That is you can, but nobody's only 1 or 2 is going to play.
Good luck getting
but
an
again,
empty
I'm not
lobby.
shitting. I just want to clarify it because I feel maybe I'm shitting on it. I'm not, because
No.
we really, 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 really like this a lot, and conceptually, I fucking love it.
That's why it's so bothersome.
All right, I'm off.
Because it should be easy.
I'm done talking.
Yeah, no, don't worry, because you're correct. It should be easy. Like, it's such a good game, and that's part of our passion with this. It's not, if it was a bad game, we wouldn't even be reviewing it. You know, like, if we didn't like it, we wouldn't waste the time. We loved it. We spent way more time on it than we could. We waited till we were good at it. We checked out all these different mechs because it's good, but the reality is your average user isn't going to have that patience that we had with the multiplayer to really iron out what the hell's going on with it. And for a multiplayer game base, that exactly what you said, they advertise, that hits hard on the gameplay, you know, it does. So 15 for gameplay, it really should be a 20, but I got to go with 15. Aesthetics, I agree exactly what you said. It's so on the cusp, but I got to stay consistent. It's a 15. You know, it's great immersion. They knocked out the feel of being in a mech. Did they accomplish that? Man, Babe Ruth home run. You know, they knocked it all the way into the next town. Yeah, hell yeah. It's just not the crispest, tightest graphics, but the way they did the controllers, you know, the way the mechs look, the variety of different weapons of ammo. I mean, they did a great job. I just can't give a 20 on it, but I don't want anybody to make any mistake. It's freaking sweet being in a mech, and they did a great job with the immersion aspect of there, but I'm still going to go with a 15. Functionality, going to sound like a broken record with the gameplay, because not only is the lack of multiplayer team kind of like a built-in issue, then we actually do have some glitches and issues, such as the invite button does nothing. If I click a button built in game to say invite your friends, it should do at least something, or just not exist at all. You know, it's kind of weird. So that part's an issue. And then it's the only game I've ever seen you go into party chat in game and there's a major issue. Like, not, you know, hey, you do that AI talking app, the replica app, it doesn't work in party chat because it needs to hear your mic. That's different than the whole audio shutting down and just like nuking your audio aspect of your device. So I don't know what's going on there. Those are really the only glitches I've had. I've had no actual like gameplay glitches. I haven't had glitches like I go to jump, which is something we didn't really touch on before, but like you can glide with your guys too, and every mech can jump and glide a little bit different, like different length of time. I mean, so there's no glitches there. I mean, one other thing we skipped on is not even relevant to this category is, man, matches are only like 4 or 5 minutes. So you can boom, 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 you can bang them out. I think that's huge. Adds so much potential for tournament and stuff, but it's just not there. League play. But functionality, I had no other glitches besides playing with a friend, which is such a huge part of this game. So that's unfortunate, but 15 for functionality. Replayability, 15. And it goes back to that same issue. That would probably be a 20 if I could play with my friends how I want to. If I could squad up with a full squad of 4 the way I dream of, I'd probably play it almost as much as Pop 1. But am I going to go through that headache every time? Or am I going to really feel comfortable, you know, constantly introducing people and being like, just hold on, we'll figure it out. Now let's wait till there's an empty lobby and all 4 of us can be on the same team. All right, now let's all try to go Bravo at the same time. It's like, what's going on here? So replayability, I'm going to give them a 15, but should be a 20. Now, we're all give them a full 20 as a value. I mean, come on, it's $19.99. It is a steal. We got a lot of gameplay time. I'm still going to keep playing. We're talking about adding it to the rotation. You're getting $20 plus tax worth of value out of this game. I wish I could actually rate it higher in that regard. All my complaints are because I freaking love the game. It's a good game. But nonetheless, 15, 15, 15, 15, 20. So I'm going 80. I think we got identical scores, right?
Yeah, and I think it's just for the same reasons. So I don't want to beat it to death. I mean, I think it's a great game. I'd actually recommend it.
Yeah.
We have recommended it to a couple of our friends and stuff. So, I mean,
I just wouldn't recommend it with the anticipation of squatting up with 4 and playing together like that.
No, what I've been telling people is get it and really focus on the campaign right now. And then I'm like crossing my fingers within a week or two. There's an update for the finding matches or creating a server.
Because it's tough. It's a great game if you love mechs. And
it
hey,
could
look,
be great.
If you don't care about
fantastic.
If you don't care about playing with friends, and you know, you just want to.
Oh, then you're fine.
Yeah, I've never had issue finding a lobby.
It's team based. At the end of the day, if you want to be good at it, you're not going to do it by yourself. Yeah. So you want to be good at it and go somewhere with it, then it's team based.
Yeah, absolutely.
So That's my 2 cents and whatever.
The reality is we gave it 80s today, but the only category that would be hard to get a 20 in for this game would be aesthetics. Like for them to do a graphical overhaul.
It could happen.
It could, but it's the least likely.
I could care less about it.
Exactly. Gameplay, they can up to 20 so easily. Functionality, replayability. All those scores change with the ability that you can comfortably find a match with your friends as advertised. Yeah, and maybe, they're adding capture the flag, maybe 1 or 2 other game modes. I don't even care about the other maps and stuff. Yeah. It's great.
That's why I said my biggest focus.
One fix, and it's 95.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, either way, I'd buy it.
Yeah, hey, still, even today, I agree with that. Worth it for $19.99. So
definitely. Could have been a 24.
But yeah, we'll wrap it up in just a second. But, shame on us for not referencing how short the missions were. 4 or 5 missions, you can really... There's times that even we'll play this in between, 2 games. Mm-hmm. And it's like, boom, we can pop out 4 or 5 rounds in 20 minutes,
Well, yeah. So. It's fast-paced. You're not going to get sucked into a 20-minute ordeal of an ass-kicking. Mm-hmm. So even if you lose, it could be 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. We've had some close nail-biter rounds. It's fun, So, hey, I recommend it.
I can't wait to get out there more. Once the issue's fixed, I'll be all over it.
Yeah. It's just that there's enough of a quality of life issues.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time clicking join and not being able to, because let's be honest, if you don't have a good battery backup or your batteries, it's like to me, minutes count.
I'll be honest with you.
I don't have that kind of time.
It's not only this game. There's been so many games that we go to play. Drunken Bar Fight's a great example of that. We love the game, but there's one freaking issue. I'm done.
I think they fixed that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
we haven't had that issue.
No, but that's how.
So just so you know that yes, there was an issue, but we have not had that since the last upgrades.
The airplane update, the airport update. But yeah, that's a great example. I don't have the highest tolerance for troubleshooting.
Time is precious.
Yeah. So hey, other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Go check out our online communities. Freaking vote for us in the podcast awards, and check you out next week.